happening, everyone? And welcome to the Systems Lab Live. This is the Wednesday edition. This is I Hate Meetings Part 2. Part 1 was on Monday. We're having a fantastic week where we are truly exploring what is this concept behind I don't like meetings, I hate meetings, all these different types of things. But Monday, we had a great conversation on the do's and don'ts of meeting management. Okay. The do's and don'ts of meeting management. We went through, how you go about setting up a meeting BLT style, folks. Even though I didn't have a acronym that was like the B, the L, and the T, I had the prep, the mix, and I gotta go look at my notes. What's going on? What's happening, Juan? What's happening? Yeah, so we're talking about I hate meetings, and we're going to roll into that conversation in just a few minutes. But I do have a few couple of things that I wanted to highlight before we get into show and tell with Ask Ash. As we normally do every single show, we do ask you to do a couple of things, which is drop your name and location and tell us all what exactly you are working on. Okay, what exactly you're working on. Welcome for those that are here for the very first time. The Systems Lab Live is a place where we're here weekly, really talking about everyday work in terms of our conversations that we're having with our colleagues, with our folks that we're working with, with our supervisors, with our team members, with organizations. And so we are talking about our projects, our time, developing processes, leading things out. So this is a great opportunity to really dive deep into some of these things and, come on together. We're talking about all sorts of things. This particular series that we're on, How to GSD, how do you get stuff done? How do you get stuff done? And so I think this is a really important topic because many of us are doing things in all sorts of different ways, but are we doing them efficiently? And what can we learn from one another? What can we learn from one another? So glad you all are here. Wednesday was great. Not too many meetings. Ha, a little spin on the title. Not too many meetings today. So I was able to focus in on the work that needed to be focused on. I got to send out necessary emails. I got to dive into a task that has been put off for a minute, a long minute. And so I was able to refocus and say, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. I spent a good 20 to 30 minutes on it. And in fact, it actually went super well. I have a little bit more to do. In fact, I have to do a little outreach to someone to make sure that we're connecting the dots and making sure it all makes sense, right? Making sure that it all makes sense. So good. Very, very good, everyone. That's really it. I think that's really it for me. Next week, we're having a little bye week, as they like to say in the football arena. We're having a bye week, so we will not have the Systems Live next week. I am going to be the MC for the Done in a Day virtual summit, virtual conference, excuse me. And I actually put a little, whatchamacallit, a post on Instagram letting you know all about it and encouraging you to buy a ticket. It's a great conference teaching all about how to create a VIP day, a business model for your business. It's great. It's really, really good. Fantastic organization, wonderful business coach, all the things in between. So and let me just back up and talk a little bit about Done in a Day. I have a VIP day, and I always mention the VIP day on my live show. And one of the cool things about VIP days is that they allow you to do a couple things: reclaim your time, reclaim your freedom, increase your revenue. They allow you to actually create a business model that works around your life. And truly, many people, depending on what your business model is. Some people are doing coaching and they want to add a VIP day to that experience, but it essentially helps you to create a particular service, a particular service, right? And it has you to take this approach of what would maybe have taken a 3 to maybe 6 months and then consolidate that into one day. So there is a lot of philosophies and formulas out there on VIP days, but Jordan Gill has crafted this into her own program, and she brings along some really cool expert people to talk about different aspects of entrepreneurship and some really cool subjects that she's speaking on and others are talking about. It's a great time. It's a really good time. It helps you to rethink and retool your business and think of things through a different lens. And so that is just some cool appreciation on that virtual conference experience. So I want to get into show and tell with Ask Ash. This is a segment of the show where we talk a bit about apps and how we can actually implement them into our day-to-day life. So I do want to show you all 2 apps on meeting transcription. So one of the things that is really, really good about transcribing your meetings is that you don't have to actually do that yourself. Like, you as the leader or even your team member, they don't really have to do it themselves, like literally write word for word. And so a great question: does the meeting add more value than the cost of the meeting? If you paid each employee the for the length of the meeting, what is the cost versus the value um it will add to the employees? Right, right, right. I think it's a really good question. Does the meeting add more value than the cost of the meeting? Hmm. If you paid each employee their pay for the length of the meeting, what is the cost versus the value that it will add to the employees? Now, that is a really good question, because on Monday we talked about making sure that you're crafting making sure that you're crafting a meeting so that it has purpose and so that it actually drives discussion, and not only discussion but drives decision making. So that's sort of my own philosophy on the purpose of meetings should be more geared towards not having status updates, but really creating a strategy around a decision that needs to be made or moving an initiative forward. So this is interesting concept here. Does the meeting add more value than the cost of the meeting? That, I mean, I think that's something to consider. If you paid each employee there for the length of the meeting versus what is the cost, what is the cost versus the value? Now, I think at first glance at this, reading this a couple of times, I don't know if you could put a number to a person attending a meeting that they would feel as if it's worth it versus what's the value add to the employees. Now, I believe that people should be more careful as to who is actually attending the meetings themselves, because if you have too many people in a meeting and they don't know why they're there, then that detracts from that person feeling as if I don't really have any purpose. There should have been an email, X, Y, and Z, all these other types of things. So I think that's a really, really good question to ask. What is the value add and the cost of a person attending that meeting if you paid them that? I like it. I like that question a lot. Now, talking through this particular app called Otter.ai. I'm gonna pull it up for you all. Otter.ar. What that particular app is, it's geared towards transcribing your meeting, the meeting itself. Okay, enable. Okay, we're gonna skip this little part. It's asking me to log in. Oh, no, I don't think so. Okay, there we go. Okay, very interesting. Okay, So this is really interesting. Okay. Otter.ai. Let me share this screen very quickly. Share the screen. Otter.ai. So Otter.ai, write this down, is a tool that's used, an AI tool that's used. They come into your meeting tool, your Zoom, your Google Meet, your WebEx. And what they do is this technology tool, the technology tool actually comes in and listens to the voices speaking and then transcribes it. That is what essentially this is. And what it can do is that if you connect your calendar to it, it it can actually invite itself, the little AI tool, into the meeting and again transcribe the notes. So if you wanted to have, let's say, coffee chats with a friend, if you wanted to have some coffee chats with a friend, one thing that could happen is that you could record that conversation and that could actually be in this particular folder. So I decided to create a couple of folders like discovery call and then coffee chats, right? It looks like you can create groups if you have some team members. So that's always cool as well. Um, Apps, you can upgrade to sync with other cloud recordings. It can be in your browser. You can use highlights. You can add to Dropbox. Lots of different interesting things that you can do. Let's see. You can do a manual record, auto share notes to calendar event guests. So that's also something really interesting. You got to think about that a little bit, right? Does it actually make sense for you to have the auto share? So the Auto Assistant would have you to auto join all meetings, notify the host 24 hours in advance about Auto Assistant joining the meeting. You can also auto share to your calendar event guests, send Otter links, post the Otter link as an in-meeting chat visible to all participants. So a couple things that this does, because many people, they often think, okay, if I have a meeting, how do I capture the right information? Right. I have a very interesting take on these type of AI tools. I think they can be beneficial if you really need to actually transcribe that information and use it for something. Now, I do believe in strategic note taking, and we're going to actually look at how you can set that up in ClickUp and in Google Docs. But a literal transcript of what everyone says, I don't think is as beneficial to the audience unless you have someone that's on your team that's going to take action items from what's being said and then add them to ClickUp or your project management tool and distribute it so that everyone knows about that. So that's my take on tools like Otter. Do I think they can be useful? Yes. Do I think that your note taking should be more strategic in terms of like meeting notes and things like that? 100%. Do I feel that people are actually going to sit there and read through those notes? I don't really think so. I don't think someone would actually reference those notes unless, again, this is a type of meeting where there is a lot of strategy, there is a lot of discussion that's going on, and you have people that are literally going to go through line by line. But I feel like that's a rarity. You know what I'm saying? I think that if you are a service provider, if you provide services, you have discovery calls, I think that is perfect for that type of use because, again, you can have a virtual assistant coming in, scrubbing the transcript, assigning action items, creating notes, and then putting them in the particular drive of your client's folder. I think there's a lot of really cool use cases for that. Absolutely. So I think you have to think through if you're going to use this tool, What do you want in terms of sharing the notes with guests? Yes or no? You know, making sure that you're clicking on the right toggles right here. Let's see, all conversations. I think I had a tutorial. Here's some of the tutorial.
I was doing some stuff. Yeah, well, me too, and it worked.
What's happening, y'all? And welcome.
So what you were hearing actually was a little piece of Iron Man 2, because I, for one, am late to the party. My Avengers Mastermind group said, girl, you need to hop on this Marvel train and get yourself educated. And so that's what I'm doing. And so I am committed to understanding the Marvel universe. So you saw a little bit of that, and then testing 1, 2, 3. Something interesting that you can do, you can highlight words if you wanted to. Highlight words. Okay, if you wanted to. And you can actually turn that into an action item. Okay.
Too, and it worked.
What's happening, y'all?
Oh, hold on. So that's what you can do. Wait, hold on. Okay. So that's something that can be done. Highlight is added. So you can add a photo if you wanted to. You can copy it. You can add a comment. You can share it. So there's some cool things that actually can be done. If there needs to be an outline, there can be an outline based upon what is being said. But again, using the Otter.ai in conjunction with a virtual assistant or a project manager, you know, that could be great because they could actually look to see what the action items are, highlight them, and then keep it moving. You know, I believe that meeting recordings are super useful for people to run through if there's a demo, if there is some sort of team meeting where there was important information, and maybe a Loom video wouldn't suffice because maybe there is conversation and discussion. In fact, when it comes to meetings, we just said this, I think it's really important that we are saving some of the more critical updates, just things that you have status updates on. Either use Slack for communication, or you can, for sure, use Loom or a screen recording tool. So that is Otter.ai. Pretty cool tool. I think you do have a lot of runway with this. Folks can share Otters with you if you want to. And it looks like for this one, add Otter assistant to live meeting. So it sounds like you can record from your browser. If you wanted to import an audio or video file, you could do that as well, which would be really interesting because if you recorded a meeting and maybe you didn't have Otter with you, you could upload it. So that's also something that is interesting as well. You can create a workspace if you wanted to. So you can, create a team, it looks like. So very, very good. Very, very good. So yeah, I guess if, wanted to record myself, I guess I could. And yeah, share this conversation. You get through 30 minutes of transmit per conversation. Share this live with along with the calendar invites. What's going on, Omar? What's happening? So you can definitely share what's happening. You see how it's picking it up as I'm speaking. So again, very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. All right. So I think we're good. I think that we are super good on this. Very, very good. Your conversation is processing. So when you do that, you can have notify me and you can get notified. All right. All right. So I'm going to stop my share. We're going to stop my share, and we are then going to go into, I just like to check my notes right quick. Let's get into process and flow. We're going to talk a little bit about some meeting stats, and then we're going to go straight into ClickUp meeting management, and then also Google Docs and the template section. I believe that's probably a really nifty little kind of pro tip of submitting templates. And so, yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy those Google Doc type of tips and tricks. Google has a lot of things. All right. Process and flow. This is the segment of the show where we do what? We actually go about breaking down the process itself. So we'll be here for a little minute, y'all. So go ahead and get your notebook, get a little snack if you want to before the show and tell portion of this goes. Some research that I found to be a bit interesting that I want to share with you all. So research shows that Monday is the least favorite of the meeting days. And who could actually blame that particular stat? Okay, I don't know who really enjoys a early Monday meeting. I mean, we're talking about the 9 a.m.s. We're talking about the 8 a.m.s, right? But I truly believe that it's our attitude and, again, how we facilitate and set ourselves up for success that, a little 8:30-ish, a little 9 a.m., it won't get on too many people's nerves if you set it up right. Executives say that 45% of meetings serve no purpose. Okay. And I'm actually getting this data from teamstage.io. And so they're walking through some interesting statistics of a recent survey. 75% of CEOs feel audio only conferences are a thing of the past. Okay. So I love this audio only, like conference calls. We ain't doing no conference calls no more. We're not doing that anymore. No more, let's just get on the phone and call. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this right now that pre 2020, pre March 2020, you got all sorts of conference lines, all of them, heavily. What's the conference line? That's a whole thing. What's the PIN number? Y'all remember them days with the PIN number? That's real. The PIN number. I lost the PIN. The PIN doesn't work anymore. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them PIN numbers, boy. That would trip me up. Video conferences increase productivity by 89%. I'm with it. However, lots of people feel very Zoom fatigued. So I think that assessing when you're meeting and what you're meeting about is super critical, because what meeting could actually be a Loom video? Hey, I don't need to be a part of this. So let me just set myself up for success. I don't have to be in this meeting and send a Loom video. And for some that are in organizations, that are in corporate, you may not be able always to send a Loom video. Folks, there may be, what I'm trying to say is there is still a heavy culture around still needing to meet. And that's just the truth of it. But now we're in a state, 2022, almost end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter is around the corner, literally. 2023 is almost here. Okay. And so what we have to think about as leaders, as those that are implementers, how is it that we can manage our time better? How is it that we can manage our energy better? How can we focus in on those core tasks, our superpower better? And it's certainly not with meeting a lot. So we have to rethink and reimagine what is it that we're doing with our time and what makes sense. How do we communicate better? Side note plug, new podcast season is loading. It's going to be on communication. The system behind communication. And we're going to talk all things communication. Async versus synchronous. Remote work. How to have a dream digital team and what that involves. A communications plan. Communications tools. What is poor communication and why does that kill a project? It's going to be fire. Fire. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, back to our focus. The truth behind ineffective meetings is that 67% of them fail. Agreeing with that. And again, we've made these points, but because we don't know how to set up effective meetings, right? I think that's a contributing factor to that, and not having great communication too. Types of meetings. Okay, there's many different types of meetings. There's your staff meetings. Is where everybody comes together, near and far. You're here. Cut it. So daily stand-ups, 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Okay? I love me some good old daily stand-ups. Now, daily doesn't mean that it's 5 days a week or anything like that. It actually could be you want to have a touch point. I want to have a 15-minute touch point with these 3 individuals that are key in moving a project forward, that are key in having the information necessary for strategy and necessary for me to meet with, so that we can understand how are we accomplishing this particular project. Wonderful. Daily stand-ups are great. All right. One-on-one meetings. One-on-one meetings are great. I believe that you could use some tools that can help you move past some of the surface level questions of what you're working on and what's the status of X, Y, and Z, by using some tools like ClickUp and Slack to be able to get some of those routine things out of the way. And therefore you can press into that one-on-one meeting, again, talking about some real stuff, maybe not even talk about work stuff, talking about how you feeling, what's going on, how's the mental health, then talking a bit more about strategy. Okay, you saw that note where I was able to do X, Y, and Z, but I have a couple of dependencies I want to walk through. Boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, that's simple. I love it. That's the type of one-on-one I want to see. Talking also about the future, talking about, strategy and implementation. It's the kind of thing I like. Brainstorming meetings, which I believe should be happening more often than not, is a wonderful opportunity for people to come together, come outside of themselves, and be able to think and allow themselves to be, right? Just allow themselves to be. No pressure to come up with the right answer or the right thing. Brainstorming meetings help push the best out of people. And that could be for an hour or two. It could be for a whole day. It really all depends. The subject, it depends on the scope, the complexity, the problem that you're looking to solve. Something I thought was brilliant, and we'll cover this the week after next, but something that I thought was super, super brilliant that Shopify does, and then also Buffer does, is they have a thing called like a build week or a build retreat, or like a 2 to 3 day experience where they have a team and they go off to some place, and then they allow them to their creativity to create new things. It could be an app, it could be a whole campaign, but it allows, again, for the creativity, the spontaneity, and also the team bonding. Why? And this is all in person. Why? Because behind the screens, not everything always translates the way that we've intended it or the way that we've wanted it to translate. That's for sure. That is for sure. All right. Very good. Very, very good. So now we're going to get straight into it, folks. I hope you don't mind. I feel a little sing-songy tonight. And I will not hit that note because I was going somewhere with I hope you don't mind. So we'll continue to press on, won't we? Listen, folks. Okay, Systems Lab Live. We don't aim. I don't aim to be dry. We will have fun. We will enjoy ourselves as we talk about the reasons why people hate meetings and then how you can have your strategy so that you can not be boring and hated because you don't know how to set up a meeting. Okay? That's the bottom line, folks. Okay? Let us do better because we're well equipped with the information at hand. Okay? Okay. I love it. I love it. Put a 1 in the chat if you are having lots of fun. In the comments, you need to tell me, show me some love, folks, in the comments that you are thoroughly enjoying yourself. All right. Now, Andrea's Team Hub. I'm here for it. Now, I do have a team meeting template, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to build this joint from scratch. Build it from scratch, folks. Let me get this overlay off. And I'm actually going to go in just a little bit. Y'all can see it. I see y'all can see it. Jamie Ray's project designs, folks. Jamie Ray. Do we have one for Andrea? What do we have here, folks? Okay, we have a little risk log situation. So, Jamie Ray's project design or design projects. All right. We do have a faux course plan, like a faux course project that I created for Aisha Thomas, one of my dear sisters. So I don't know if she ever knows about this one, but I was doing creating some skills building inside of ClickUp, and I was like, I've never built a course inside of here, and I'm curious. I said to myself, I'm curious. What does that process look like? So I used my brain power and what I learned from the course director, Jose, and I was like, this is what I'm about to do. Anyway, that was just the background on that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click the plus button. I'm going to click a folder, and I'm going to say meeting management. Okay? Meeting management. Use space status or custom. I think we're fine with in progress and to do because we're actually going to use this in a unique way. Okay. So status won't necessarily, be what we need right now. Okay. So what we first are going to do is I want to pull this back before we get to, get too far and confuse the people. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, I want to talk a little bit about the purpose of ClickUp, project management tools in its truest form. In its truest form is meant to manage projects and tasks, increase productivity, centralizing a single source of truth so that you know where you're going, why you're going, and be able to make sure that yourself and others are doing work efficiently. Okay, that's first and foremost. ClickUp has something called a space, a folder, and a list. If you want to think of it this way, think of it like grocery store aisles. Okay, I'm not joking with you all. Think of it as grocery store aisles. You will not find pineapples in with the beans. You will not find the lettuce in the same aisle as the chicken and the beef. In the same way, what you'll want to do with ClickUp in terms of the workspaces is you want to make sure that they are niched down in such a way where you're easily able to identify based on the areas of your business. So you want to have content creation, you want to have an HR space, you'll want to have something for client projects, and that could be your external projects, and then internal facing are the projects you're working on internally. So space folder list works like this. Space is at the state level, folder is at the capital of that state, and the list is the municipality. So good, y'all. So good. So what I'm going to do is I've created a folder called meeting management. And right here is the custom fields that I can easily add. And excuse me, I'm actually going to add a file, presentations or files here. Custom fields are one of the many bread and butters to ClickUp. It allows you to create information that is relevant to the task in the project, especially when you're going to create like a dashboard of sorts and things and you want certain information captured. So I am going to see if there's anything else that I want to put in here. Think so. I do not think so. You may want to do this. Facilitator. If you wanted to. You totally do not have to. It may not make sense to do it. Because you may not make sense to do this because you already have assignee, and your assignee could actually be the team member that is responsible for putting together the meeting itself. All right. Mason's in the building. So a couple things with this. You could do something super easy. This is really this could be like meeting agenda and action items. Oh, Lord. And whoop, meeting agenda and action items. So that's what this list is called. And I'm actually going to put it right here. This is going to be the 9/8/2022 meeting. Very much up to you all about how exactly that you want to make this work. But a few things that could be done is writing the agenda. I'm going to put agenda right here. I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to highlight this. Whoop. I did not mean that. We're going to go and go yellow and, just sort of make it a little more prominent. So I'm actually going to put right here. Who's attending? Agenda topic number 1. Agenda topic number 2. Agenda topic number 3. Okay. Love this. I'm actually going to turn this into a bullet. Oh, a checklist, I meant. How do we do this? Checklist. Perfect. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. That's the agenda topic. One thing that I would actually put in here is, I don't know if it'll do it. Again, this is just one type. Okay. I'd actually have, I would not have this because one thing that I would do here is add subtask right here. And that would be your action item. Okay. You can then assign it to someone. They would have it. Okay. If there are subtasks, you can certainly click inside here and add your subtask in here. Okay. Open this up. This can actually become a template. Okay. A couple things for you to be mindful of is you can add an attachment here, which would be really good. You could add an attachment if you'd like to. Folks can make comments too, even after the meeting. That's something. This can become a template. So you go to 3 dots, and then what you'll do is you'll go to Template Center, save as a template, and then you'll go through those prompts. Now, if you need to, for whatever reason, need to email a task, you can certainly click Send Email. And then you can send or forward an email to this address to create a comment. So that's one thing that you could do. If you wanted to, send email to task. If you wanted to, you can convert this into a list, like a brand new list if you wanted to, or a subtask. There you have it. So that's one way. That's one way, folks, when we're talking about meeting management, doing it in a task way. All right. Another way is the docs feature. Oh, add view. Okay. Very good. And one thing that you could do here, like literally, this particular page is strictly like a Google Doc. So you could have this run right here. You could add a cover. Folks love them some little covers. Laptop. Okay. Makes it look rightfully nice. So one thing that you could do too as well is templates. So you could for sure add a template. They have so many different types here. But I think meeting template SOP, how to manage your meetings. Now, I know that I had one. Let's see. Okay. Well, I'll see if this is me or not. I don't know. Okay. Oh no, I think this is it. Yes. So this is a template that I created. And this is like the meeting management SOPs. What are meetings used for? Who's involved? The meeting structure, the expectations, and the outline. So something cool that you should note about ClickUp is that you can for sure create SOPs in here. And I think SOPs in ClickUp make sense if in fact you are literally bridging the gap between tasks, documents, and assigned work. So I think that's a really important decision that should probably be made. You know, you can always embed Google Docs and still use Google products in conjunction with ClickUp. But I thought that the meeting management SOP was great for those that are overtaking the process. So this kind of asks you some of those key core questions. Absolutely. It's interesting. And let me see if I find another. Didn't I have like an agenda? What's this one? I like how I'm just like going through. I'm like, which one is it? Okay, yes, this is one I also created as well. So meeting template. First and foremost, you can use all sorts of things, right? Turn it into H2 if you wanted to. The topics, and then the meeting notes. So you could actually take the topic, copy and paste it if you wanted to, use a little emoji as well, and then write down the topic. And then one thing that you could do is you could put your action items here. You could at someone, and you could say that the particular task, because you can actually go about doing a couple things, writing out finish campaign and highlighting this. Ooh. Task, and then you can put it in a folder if you wanted to. So I'm going to put it in my daily operations one. Well, no, I won't do that. Hold on. I'm going to put in my example one. And I'm going to, I'm going to assign it to me. I'm going to put a deadline of the 2nd. Okay. And I'm going to create it. So I'm going to actually open this up. So we created the task. And you see it's actually an example weekly project list. So it added it to the list, and it actually put the due date as Friday, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So you see how easy that is to be able to go from your notes, create a task, and then assign it to someone. Seamless transition for that. Seamless transition. Right. How y'all feeling about this meeting management and what we are learning here tonight? Effective meeting management. Effective. So what else is there, folks? We're going to get into it with Google Docs. Also, one thing too with meeting management, you can also create a dashboard in ClickUp. And you can also have a list of agenda items and things like that, where again, This is a dashboard. It's the one-stop shop for all meetings and notes and action items and things like that. So very good. Let's remove this. And let's go to Docs. Going to Docs. Okay. This is fun, folks. You know, let me tell you, there's so many hidden tips and tricks when it comes to Google Docs. I mean, it's just out of this world. What's going on, Winifred? So I think it's really important that we kind of unpack some of these hacks that we have going on. As you saw in ClickUp, we saw how to do the meeting management thing in that process. So that was super easy to create. You can, of course, create templates and things like that. And now we're going to look into what it means to create a template for your meetings. So you can very well have okay, hold on 1 second. Google Team Meeting template you have right here. This is what the template looks like. The team meeting, the date, the attendees, the purpose, the agenda, and then the subpoints and the action steps. An open discussion, because I believe you should have open discussions. You have that right here. So having this in Google Docs does down on this particular document from scratch. Now, how does one submit a template? I'm so glad that you asked that. I'm really glad that you asked that. And I do want to show you something very quickly. So when you go to new, you can actually do a brand new document, or you can do from template gallery. When I am streaming on YouTube, so if you go to YouTube, if you go into the link into the bio, Winifred, that's where I'm there all the time. So if you go to YouTube, you can go into the link into my bio, and you go to Systems Lab Live, and then I'm on YouTube, and you can see everything. So there you go. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. So you go to new, and then you go to template gallery. Okay. And then once you have that, you click on the template, and then you do not have to recreate that template. But let's say I wanted to make a copy of this. I'm going to make a copy of it. Maybe say this is team meeting template A. I'm going to make a copy of this, and I'm going to change some things around. Let's say that I wanted to have other things on here. Action step, or really it's action item. So let's say I wanted to say, all right, we need this to be highlighted. We need all of these to be highlighted so that this could jump out. Let's highlight some more. Okay. Agenda topic 1, 2, and 3. So when you are in the, and let me go and find the template gallery. All right. So if I go to template gallery, that is right here. Let me go and show you where the template gallery is. Stop screen. I'm going to show you because it's a cool hack. So you need to go here. So you go to your Google Docs, you'll see recent documents. Click on template gallery. This is where it'll show everything that has been a template for Google Docs. You go to submit template. What you'll do is you'll select a document and you'll go to recent and you'll go click here and you'll click open. Submit a copy of this instead of original file. I guess we'll go with that. We'll put a category. I guess I'll put basics. And then you'll submit the template. And look at here. Team meeting docs right here. You click on that. What's going on, Rose? And here is the updated meeting doc template with the highlights. This is good stuff now. This will save you a lot of time, right? This will definitely save you a lot of time. They have something called smart chips in here. So you can do like an @ symbol and you can build like an email draft. You know, you could do all sorts of stuff. Insert media, emojis, dates and times, headings. Yeah, they have all sorts of really fun stuff here. Calendar events, insert meeting notes. So if there's meeting notes on this, you could add that in there. But we'll definitely go over the smart chips a different time. But I definitely wanted to make sure that you all, sort of got that in terms of how you can create templates within Google Docs. And you can also do that with Google Sheets and I believe in Slides as well. You can definitely do that as well. All right. How was that, folks? How was that? Do we want to just do another little thing? No? Yes? I'm going to go new from Google Doc. And I'm going to go with SOP template. And we're going to go with, I'm slashing it like Notion. I tell you what, I'm going to go right here to normal and then go into SOP template. I'm going to center this. I'm going to say introduction of SOP. And then I'm going to have section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4 is resources. I'm actually going to change all of this into, nope, H3. Okay. So this is the SOP template. I'm going to go back. Oh, okay. I have, let me go back and let me switch this up because I just, man, hold on. Let me do one more thing because I was just creating the file and I realized I was not switched over here. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So I just created this template right here. Very quick, like super, super quick. I did it. SOP template, section 1, 2, 3, 4 is resources. We're going to go back to, we're going to go back here and we're going to click on template library, template gallery. I mean, we're going to submit a template. We're going to select it. We're going to go to recent. We're going to go to SOP template. We're going to have open, submit a copy, basics, and then submit. tell you what, this thing takes you like what? A total of maybe 10 minutes total. But this is perfect when you are onboarding new team members, things like that. You got a templates for all the things. You got templates for all the things, folks. All right, y'all. This has been good, right? I hope that by now you don't hate meetings. You don't hate meetings. So the challenge of the week, Here's what I want you to do. That last thing that we just did with the template, I want you to do that, and I want you to text me. Excuse me. I want you to text me hashtag live to 626-722-5444. Alice is in the building. And so you want to engage if you want to become the live crew, and tell me how you thought that template submission was, right? How did you like that template exercise? And actually go back to this last 15 minutes of this live stream, go back and create one. It's going to save and help your team so much. The fact that you have so many templates involved, right? So that's all that I have for you all tonight. This has been really good. We spent the week talking about I hate meetings. But now we have tools and we have processes and we have things that we can put in place so we don't hate meetings as much, right? I'm going to share with you, because we're in the last leg of the third quarter, entering into the fourth quarter. But we have VIP Day spots open for the ClickUp VIP Day. Super excited about what I can do to help you in your business as well. ClickUp VIP days are awesome because this is where I can help you streamline your ClickUp into one day. So the cool thing about that is that the cool thing about ClickUp VIP days is that not only that I can do it in a day, but it's also helping you to streamline whatever it is that is not working. We're figuring out what workflows work. I'm building it, but I'm also teaching and training you on how to use it. It's cool. It's good stuff. So I'd love it if you wanted to work with me. I'd love to work with you. But yeah, let's see. Let's talk on the phone. So definitely, well, not on the phone, Zoom, that is. And have a call. And let's see if this is the right service that I can offer you. So that's all that I have. Thank y'all so much for your time and for your attention. Next week is a bye week. Okay. Next week is a bye week, and I'll be back September 13th. Excited. There'll be a new topic. I'll announce it. And thank you guys so much. And we'll certainly talk soon. Bye.